That's how we do it here. We are officially live. We're officially live.
Oh, great. Well,
I'm going to kick off this front bumper.
And we're not going to be fibbing anymore, are we, Reed?
No. We don't do that here.
Scout's honor.
Scouts. The scoutiest of Scouts honor.
The scoutiest of scouts.
I'll give you a countdown, and then we'll get right into the thing here. Very excited for tonight's show, man. I'm really happy you're doing this. This is wonderful. And we're going to jump right off into camera one, which is the single of you. And in 3, 2, 1, we are live. Hell yeah. Ryan DeSiato hanging out with us. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, buddy, for another episode of Local Sets ATX.
It's my pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching, either live or after the fact, whatever medium you choose to do that in. We have a guest with us today, the wonderful Dave Matev.
That's me.
That's him. He is a friend of the show. He's a fantastic human being, and he's going to guest host with us tonight. So, but it's not about us. It's about you, Ryan DeSiato.
It's not necessarily about me. It's about whatever's happening in the moment. Emily's here too.
I think you said we weren't lying anymore. That is true. My lovely wife is behind us. What's up, Em? How are you?
She's yeah, well, she's putting off nice vibes over there.
You brought some songs for us this evening.
I did. You're going to try to rein me in and make me perform, aren't you?
I'm going to try. How many songs did you bring
Damn
for
it.
us this evening?
Like 20.
20?
I'm just going to be picking through them as we go along.
Okay, let's do it.
All right,
Let's
so
do that.
let's start with a song from my new EP.
New
that I
EP?
released May 24th, called All Good Things.
May 24?
May 24th
Can I tell you?
of 24.
Can I tell you? That's my brother's birthday.
Is it?
I swear to God. Yeah, it's Cole's birthday.
Well, I'll send him a record.
There you go. All right, May 24th of 24. All the good things. All the good things. Or all good things.
All good things.
All good things.
Nothing but good things. So,
And the first song is the title of this track?
it's the title track, All Good Things.
All Good Things. All right. I will zip it over to you for All Good Things whenever you're ready.
All right, here we go. Let's do this. I watch the sun bound set and say goodnight. As the moon comes to bathe the land in soft eerie light, and I wonder to myself if the chase will ever end. These two celestial brothers, or enemies or friends, and then I think all good things must come to an end. There isn't time to waste going back to where I've been. No amount of living in the past is ever gonna change or bring those places back. I've seen the sweetest love wither and die. After its funeral, I investigated why, and I found that sometimes the things that we want just aren't what we need. That don't close the wound, it only makes it bleed. And then I think all good things, it must come to an end. There isn't time to waste going back to where I've been. No amount living in the past is ever gonna change or bring those places back. On the solo. Well, this is live, so we'll stop it, and you know what? We can start right back at that solo if we need to.
It's
And
the
let's
magic
fix the
of
problem.
live.
We do it live. We don't know what happened, but somehow the guitar dropped out. And this is how live shows go, guys. That was so strange. I've still got
Is it back on now?
Yeah.
I was like in the middle of the solo.
I don't know what happened.
Thank you guys for bearing with us.
Yes,
In the middle of the solo, I was like, I have no guitar, and I'm like, I can't get into this lead.
it's difficult to get into a lead when you can't hear yourself.
I was
lead.
like, am I losing my mind? Should we start it again?
Let's do it again. I touched nothing on the board. Is it
Today, Reed, I'll be 100% with you.
we have tech goblins here.
I took this thing apart
Okay.
and sprayed it off and cleaned it up, so we shouldn't have any problems here, but we did, and that's okay.
That's okay. We do it live.
We'll do it live.
Sounded great right until the guitar went out. So
I mean, I loved it. Right. I loved it.
big fan.
Huge fan. Even when the guitar went out, I was actually still a fan. I just was like looking at my
I'm
board.
like, why isn't it? Where is this?
I didn't touch anything. So
I think it was something. I think it was my board.
Okay.
So
all right. Well.
that was my fault.
all right. Well.
No,
you
things
know what?
happen.
That's
So,
all the good
As
things.
Bill O'Reilly says, we'll do it live. Shall we do that again from the get-go?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Over to you for all good things.
Yeah. So we just started this this music podcast.
That's it. That's
We're
it.
having fun,
You haven't done anything
and that's
yet.
beautiful. All right. So here's all good things
All good things.
with maybe a shorter intro. Okay. Thank you for bearing with us. I watch the sun bound Saturn say goodnight. The moon comes to bathe the land in soft eerie light, and I wonder to myself if the chase will ever end. These two celestial brothers, are enemies or friends, and then I think, oh, good things must come to an end. There's no time to waste going back to where I've been. No amount of living in the past is ever gonna change or bring those places back. I've seen the sweetest love wither and die. After its funeral, I investigated why, and I found that sometimes the things that we want, they just aren't what we need. That don't close the wound, only makes it bleed. And then I think, oh, good things must come to an end. There isn't time to waste going back to where I've been. No amount living in the past is ever gonna change, bring those places back. I've been the lover of this lady luck. Found that she never really loved me that much. Soon as she'd come to me, she'd be gone again. I'd be left alone, wonder where she went, and then I think, oh, good thing, it must come to an end. There isn't time to waste going back to where I've been. No amount living in the past is ever gonna change. Bring those places back. The good things, they must come to an end. There isn't time to waste going back to where I've been. No amount living in the past is ever gonna change. Bring those places back. I'm so grateful that the board messed up on the first one.
I will take
It was
a
just
built-in
like
encore.
it just like took all of the nonsense out of the room that was in my head.
Dude, that was a beautiful song. It was really dope. That was a great song. What a great open. What a great open. What would you say is the inspiration for your tunes? Like, what is the genre, if you will?
I look like I have severe ADHD right now.
It's totally
I'm
fine.
looking for my pick. Oh, you gave me some.
Do you remember how many
You
I
did.
gave
You
you?
did. Reed, it's great.
I gave this
He
man
gives me important
7,000
picks.
7,000 picks before the show.
That's
so.
a little hyperbolic, but you gave me some picks. So inspiration for that tune or all of my tunes?
Let's do that tune in particular, but then we can go into the broader genre of your music because it's not. I think a lot of Austin music is very. It's a lot of folk or country, and you don't have that same type of throughput in your music, and it's great. It's very, very unique.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you for first and foremost. I'll say that song was written very differently many, many years ago, and it was inspired by Fiona Apple, actually. I've always loved her as an artist, and if you haven't heard of Fiona Apple, which some of you may not, you should listen to Fiona Apple.
She's pretty
fantastic.
dope. Yeah, she's pretty dope.
Yeah, just her grooves and her phrasing, because she's kind of like, I'm talking about her, but the way it relates to me, and the way that she phrases is just kind of off the beat, and it's very back pocket, and it's very like soulful, and I always loved that, you know. And then I was really heavily influenced by Bill Withers.
Okay.
And so that combination of kind of soulful male vocal mixed with some of the just songwriting inspiration from Fiona Apple on that song, that's how that kind of came together. And then over the years, I've developed the looping stuff, and it's just, you know, things kind of, they do this eventually, you know, slower than my hands move together. Yeah. It's more like this.
Yeah.
you can't see it. But yeah, so that, hopefully that answers your question.
Hell yeah, man! I noticed while you were playing, you were smiling quite a bit. So you clearly
was
enjoyed
I?
it. Yeah, it's great. I
Oh,
love
that's
it.
good.
Well, sometimes people play and they have like a very concentrated face when they're
Most of the time I do too. I just think that the fact that things screwed up on the first one makes me happy.
Well, we got it out of the way, right? Because isn't that the thing? You always have one mess up every show. So now we just got it out of the way.
Nothing makes me feel more relaxed when a little bit of nonsensical chaos or like something that makes things humble happens.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good for the performance.
Humility is
you know?
good for the soul.
Like a dog coming in and taking a dump right on the floor right in front of me. That would make this performance perfect.
That would, I'm not gonna lie, that would upset me if my dogs came out here and pooped on the floor, because that I wouldn't like that. But I understand what you're saying. I feel like a dog poo might take that.
I hear you have great dogs.
I have wonderful dogs. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. Carl and Tim, we love them, but they're a little bit chaos.
I like that you gave them human names.
They, I think there was like Frank was on the board at one point. Fred. This is the thing. I don't know. I just think weird people like say like monster or like muffin or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Tim.
no, I get it.
Tim was supposed to be Steve originally, and then we trialed.
Steve's a great name for us.
We trialed Steve for a couple
Or like
days.
Wayne.
And we're just like, you're just not a Steve. You're
There's
a Tim.
a good dog name for you guys.
Yeah, Wayne. Wayne's a good one.
Tim just fits him.
It's
the perfect name.
It's a perfect name.
Perfect
It's
name.
a perfect name. And actually, how Dave and I met. This is strange. Missed opportunities on Craigslist. No, we met our dog. Our dogs. So we adopted a dog, and we both lived in Chicago at the time. And then one of the rescue that we adopted the dogs from was our dog was his dog's sister. And then they were like, "Hey, do you want to meet the owners?" And in full disclosure, I was like, "I'm good," because they probably lived like an hour away from us, and it seems like a lot. But they lived on the same block. And I was like, "Holy shit!" And then we met, and then I was like, "You guys are pretty cool." And now, fast forward, you're on the show. How
Yeah,
crazy
it
is
worked
that?
out great. We live a mile away from each other now.
It's
Pretty perfect.
It's
That's
so weird.
fantastic.
So he's the uncle.
We're all neighbors.
Yeah, and you live here.
Yes.
Yeah, you live in Easton Park.
I live very close to
Isn't
here.
that crazy?
Extraordinarily close.
Extraordinarily close. Extraordinarily close. Which is actually the title of your second song, Extraordinarily Close. It's a love song.
How did you know that? Seriously?
What is the title though of your?
It's
of your
extraordinarily close.
Dude, I hope you're
Can
not.
you imagine?
I hope you're being serious.
If you were right,
I hope you're being serious. That would make.
no,
If it
no.
was, I would jump up and just go.
That would
go
be
crazy.
amazing.
The show over. That was like the show permanently over.
Yeah.
I would have to end on that.
That would be amazing.
What is the second title for your? Second track rather.
Second track. Second track is a song called "Pick Your Head Up."
Pick Your Head Up.
So this song I wrote during COVID when I was extraordinarily depressed, like many of us were. And I was sitting, the story goes, I had just gotten out of a terrible relationship with someone who I hope is well. And I found myself in a place where I was licking my wounds. And I was staying in this little spare bedroom, and I was really grateful to have a place to go, because COVID, it was like, you couldn't get an apartment. It was just, we all know how COVID was, right?
It was nuts.
So everybody was just down. I was going through not divorce, but basically a divorce, basically. And so I was sitting on the corner of the bed one day, and I was thinking to myself, if I was going to write a song that would speak to me in this moment and help me through the deep depression that I was in, what would be the song? And so I wrote the chorus to this song. And then it took me like 2 years to finish it. And I knew that it was something special. And I hope that I do it justice right now. And I hope my guitar pedal works. So this is Pick Your Head Up.
All right, over to you, buddy.
Speaking of that Bill Withers vibe, this is kind of a good transition stylistically. So this is Pick Your Head Up. Pick your head up, friend of mine. Don't have to worry so. Come here and bend my ear. I will share your load. Tell me what is troubling you. How can I help? You don't have to make your way through this world all by yourself. Let me see the wounds you've got. I bet we share some scars. There ain't a single soul alive that ain't suffering in these times. Don't be ashamed to hang your head. Sometimes the road is long. Remember I'm beside you as we stumble through the dark. Pick your head up, friend of mine. Don't have to worry so. Come here and bend my ear, and I will share your load. Tell me what is troubling you. How can I help? You don't have to make your way through this world all by yourself. There's no shame in breaking down, stumbling along the way. I'm only here to lift you up. I know that we do the same. For me, so pick your head up, friend of mine. Don't have to worry so. Come here and bend my ear, and I will share your load. It's gonna take some strength and grit. We will make it through. I'll be here to bend your ear. You can bend mine too. Pick your head up, friend of mine. Don't have to worry so. Come here and bend my ear, and I will share your load. Tell me what is troubling you. How can I help? You don't have to make your way through this world all by yourself. You don't have to make your way through this world all by yourself. You don't have to make your way through this world all by yourself.
Pick your head up.
Hell yeah, man. That was great.
Thank
What a
you,
beautiful
guys.
song. Pick your head up. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I released that as a single in 2022. So it's out there on the
On the interwebs.
I was going to say that word, and then I pulled back. So I was like, I'm
And
waiting
I-
for Reed to say it. Because I knew what you were thinking.
You know what I was thinking? Like, if he's going to say something stupid, it's going to be this.
Oh, no, it's mostly going to be me that says stupid things, man. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you covered on
You,
stupidity tonight.
I notice when you play, you're all over the guitar. It's really kind of awesome. Like you don't just strum, you don't just pick, you slap, you do the whole thing. Like, what is? How did that come to be? Because that just seems like a very unique style. I haven't seen
a lot
anybody
of
play.
trial and error.
Okay, it's very
so-
unique to you.
So I used to just play with a pick, and then I thought to myself, as I played more solo, I just thought to myself, I was like, man, I could hear how, like, the funky stuff that I was wanting to do could be manifest if I was able to articulate these slaps, right, with my thumb, and then play the melody with my fingers, right? And so, this is a bad place to put that in case I want to talk. So, like,
Did you play bass as well at one point?
no, but you know what?
That's so
It's a
interesting.
great question, and I will transition into something cool. When I was making All Good Things, my new EP, when I went into the studio, I recorded all the guitar, we recorded all the drums and percussion, and the keyboards and everything, and we were like, okay, we need to bring a bassist in. And so Lang Freeman, my co-producer, and I, we were kind of talking about, like, who should we bring in for this? We need somebody who's got, real funky and all that. And I was like, let me see the bass. And it was just like, I did all the bass, like, in a day. Because as a guitar player, like, so the bass is basically this, for those of you who don't know. Like, it's those four strings.
It's just the four. Yeah.
Yeah, it's those four strings. And so, like,
So you just in a day, you just
Anyway, the point is that it came real naturally because of the style that I had been adopting.
so you just kind of got into like slap at the bass.
I got into slapping the crap out of the acoustic, and then it translated beautifully. And in the studio, I just like knocked it out, and it was great. So I played all the bass on the record, and yeah, and I had some great musicians on that record too, or have some great. They're not past tense. Alex Hartley on keys.
Shout out to Alex Hartley.
A big shout out to him. He's fantastic, and he's putting out a new record soon, and he should come on this show.
I would love to have.
And then Pedro Corsetti,
Pedro
percussion.
Corsetti?
Yeah,
Okay.
great name, right?
It's a great name.
He's a great guy too.
Ryan, I'm curious.
Yes, sir.
You talked about COVID, that shared experience for everybody, right?
Right.
And you mentioned a relationship. Some of those lyrics, the share the load, not have to do it on your own, was that something you wish that you had provided in the relationship, or was that more something you wish that someone had told to you?
That's a fantastic question. And let me think about it. No, I think I did. It's really complex, but we won't get into borderline personality disorder on this podcast.
Yep. Not the audience, the venue for it.
No, I mean it would be fun. We could call my fiancée Megan, and we could have her come and explain it all to you. But she doesn't know too much about that. But anyway, I don't want to go too off track. That was more like there's no shame in breaking down. I think that was more towards the listener, like for the listener, for me, for the listener. You know, like there's no shame in being depressed. There's no shame in falling apart. We all do it.
Yeah.
You just have to pick yourself up and go, all right, I'm going to do this little step to be off the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a great message.
So
Yeah, it's like sometimes something bad happens and then you think like, I can't experience this. And the thing where you keep telling yourself that, where you're like, I shouldn't be doing this. It makes the thing that's bad worse, where it's like, it's almost like you're not dealing with the reason that you're not happy. It's like, just deal with that, confront it head on, and it's okay to feel like shit occasionally. There's nothing wrong with that. Or maybe something's
Well,
off.
I think that like that's part of the human condition. We're
100%.
supposed to feel, as you said, like shit. And when we do feel like shit, we're not supposed to run away from it. We're supposed to sit in it and go, okay, I feel like that.
And then
until
why
it
do you feel
lives.
like it? And then maybe that's an answer as to what you should be changing differently. For example, being in a toxic relationship, it's like, I don't feel well because this person makes me feel like garbage and I need to eject. That could be a real thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Emily?
Oh no.
She's just like, I'm not going to.
No, but I like that. It
I'm
goes
not
with
playing the
the lyric from the last song, too. Your
Thank
first
you.
song was something about what we want isn't what we always need.
Right.
There's a through line to both of these songs there about how,
I'm glad that you picked that up. He's a great co-host.
You're a great co-host.
You should keep this guy on.
You should just host this. I'm gonna take the night off.
I think it's a whiskey.
Now you can take vacations, Reed.
Song number 3.
Oh, I don't mean to take away from the banter. I love
No,
the banter.
no.
We're happy to do it.
No.
Or I'm happy to do it. I was just, that was me and my personalities speaking right there.
There you go. How many would you say you have on a scale from 1 to 10?
I'm pretty sure that I've integrated most of them like loosely into one.
So one cohesive.
I mean, I'm
version.
hoping so.
I'll do
It's certainly been more in the past, but
what is what? So third song of the evening. What is
third song of the evening
number
is
3.
going to be a song called "Soldier On."
Soldier?
And I bet Dave's going to find a through line here. So this one is not on All Good Things. This is kind of like it's kind of like a rock, like blues riff tune, slow, kind of trudging, old Delta bluesy song about making it through hard times, much like the through line from Pick Your Head Up. So this is Soldier On.
I'm a soldier on. I'm on. Till this day is gone. I'm on. I'm a soldier on. I'm on. Till this day is gone. Eyes upon a fire, mourn its dying flame. With the orange embers comes another day. A glimpse of childish romance, a wish inside a dream. Lost inside the portrait of a painted battle scene. I'm a soldier on. I'm till this day is gone. I'm a soldier on. I'm till this day is stumbling toward the day, staring down the memory as their power fades. The hammer's been the iron, the flames that kiss the steel. Gonna charge into the fray on this endless battlefield. I'm a soldier on. I'm till this day is gone. I'm a soldier on. I'm till this day is gone.
Thanks. That's a new tune that I've been recently putting together. That's not on any albums, but it'll be on my next kind of blues rock album. That's much like All Good Things, but a little bit edgier.
I absolutely love it, man. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
What a fun song. What was the genesis of that?
More depression.
Okay, fair enough.
Like soldiering on, you know, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, and I was thinking about like a Civil War scene, you know, like the first verse says, eyes upon a fire, mourn its dying flame. I was imagining like a Civil War soldier sitting there like watching like the embers of a fire go out before he knows he has to fight and die the next day and watch his buddies die, right? For with you, orange embers, comes another day, glimpse of childish romance, a wish inside a dream, lost inside a portrait of a painted battle scene. And then I was visualizing like the Civil War soldiers on a painting on the wall, right?
Wow.
Sitting at the, so it took it kind of deeper meta into them, you know, in a painting. And
I was gonna say it would make for an amazing amazing backdrop of a score if that was something that somebody was doing for a war film, specifically the Civil War. Actually, after hearing that story, if it's like somebody's literally going into battle and then that's playing is like the things are happening in slow motion, it'd be kind of a dope visual with the audio.
It would be cool.
Have you ever scored anything before for film?
Yes, I cut a record. I cut a single song for a short film called Perdition back in 2020, 21. And it was this super dark Western. Maybe I'll transition and play this next. Anyway, this movie was so dark that I watched it one time. And the director was like, okay, I need you to write a song for this, right? So I watched it once, and at the end of the film, there's a scene where the last of the protagonists, because they all keep killing themselves, is staring, spoiler alert, anyway, he's staring into the mirror, and he's like looking at himself like, what have I done, right? It's just like pure, what have I done?
Yep.
Because it's just been like, everyone has been murdered. And so I wanted to write a song lyrically from a place that was kind of heavy and you know, rocking and kind of gritty, but lyrically, I wanted to do that whole trope of the devil on the shoulder and the angel on the shoulder, and then the man's consciousness. And so the first verse starts with the devil speaking to the man in his ear, and the next verse starts with the angel speaking to the man in his ear, and the last verse is his own perspective of it. So let's do that next. I have a request.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to get a little drink of water? My mouth is extraordinarily dry.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. We have water in our household. I believe I pay our water bill. I'm pretty sure we have water here. Dave, over to you. What was your favorite part of that song? Because it was pretty fucking great.
It was a great song. They've all been great. There's been 3 hits just back to back to back. I think
that's amazing and such a compliment. Thank you.
As you were explaining it, the idea of a soldier sitting staring at a fire, and then the painting where the kind of the tragedy of war gets lost when you're looking at it kind of from the historical lens. I don't know. I thought that was really, really cool. Where does something like that come from? Like you mentioned a battle with depression, but you know the inspiration. Like, where do you get your vibe from?
Well, it's just mental. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate the water very much. It's just mental metaphors. So, I mean, if you're sitting there and you're feeling a feeling very deeply, and you're like, man, this reminds me of that, and then you go down that rabbit hole of creativity, that's all it is. It's thought experiments that's put to light, or excuse me, it's manifest thought experiments that you just run down that rabbit hole of going, oh, that's like this, and I visualize this, and then you capture it, and then you kind of tinker with the words to like explain the metaphor.
Let me ask you, for your music, do your words come first, or does your music come first? As far
Every song's different.
Okay.
Every song's different.
Because you had mentioned earlier that you had written was it Pick Your Head Up or All Good Things for 2 years?
Yeah,
Is
Pick
that-
Your Head Up took me 2 years because I had the whole Pick Your Head Up, friend of mine, right? But I didn't have any of the verses.
Is that a typical thing that something might take you 2 years to write, or is it?
It's atypical. Hey, man, come on in. You
Sean.
good? Hey, Sean. Sean's here.
The
everyone.
official Sean behind us.
The
You can only
official
see
Sean.
the waist of Sean walking behind.
Hey, man,
me.
welcome.
Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. No, you're good. You're good. Please make yourself at home.
This is super casual. We're having fun.
Very, very casual. So for writing purposes, does this come from a place of like lyrics first, music first? You said it's either or.
It depends on the piece, and it depends on. So, for example, this one, Down to the River, I had the groove to this after I talked to the director, and he was like, I kind of want to go in this direction, and I was just like, oh yeah, what about this heavy riff? And I played the riff, and then later on I was like, okay, well, then the movie kind of painted the lyrics for me. So it was, but sometimes it's words, and then you match the music to it. I mean, it's, you know.
Just depends.
It depends. Every time it's different.
There's no formula. It's just whatever the muse gives you. All right, and what was the title of this?
This is Down to the River.
Down to the River. Okay, I will
what I'm
zip
gonna
it.
do, you can keep talking about stuff, because I'm going to fix this up here.
We're going to
because
keep talking about stuff as I write Down to the river.
if you
love
want to.
talking about
What
it.
I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the side.
We can
here
just
so I
vamp
have
for a second. I was actually curious.
I heard that today you cracked 5,000 followers
on the Instagram.
You did.
Yeah, on the
Congratulations.
Instagram. Thank you very much.
And all of you should subscribe to that on Instagram.
Local
There you
Sets
go.
ATX.
There
I'll
you
go to a
my
wide
man.
Drive
shot.
those numbers up.
There we go.
That's right. How you doing, bro? Good to see you.
we officially crossed 5,000. YouTube's the big thing. We're trying to grow the show on the old YouTubes. That's the
as
trick.
we all must,
As
right?
we all must. This is the thing. Well, the more the show grows, the more ultimately it helps the artists that come on. So that's
You know,
that's
I
the
want to
point
say
of this.
I am very grateful to be here and be on this show.
Thanks, man. I'm very happy to do this. It's a labor of love. I think we need a little bit more love and support in the world. And I think a lot of times it's very easy to get focused on like what you can do for yourself and like focus on all the things that you don't have.
Of course.
But it's also really good to take stock of the things that you do have and then maybe how you can give that back to the world. And so I think a little extra love and support is a positive thing.
Gratitude is a superpower.
It's great, man. It's a wonderful thing. I'm very, very fortunate, and I think I could even be more so if we help other artists get discovered. And it's working. We have artists that have been booking stuff and using this format for submissions to things like South by Southwest and Austin City Limits.
That's fantastic.
Which is great, and I hope they get booked and use this for millions and millions of dollars. Make me very
Do
happy.
you have the next act booked yet?
I do.
Who are they? Do you want to plug them?
Strawberry Flats. They're coming on next Saturday.
Okay, great.
And we have after that it's Bovine was just on. We have I'm blanking on the name. Where's my brain?
It's okay.
And then
It's okay. You'll find your brain.
I won't find it.
I've been finding.
I've been
mine.
looking for it for
I
years.
lose it and then I find it.
I have to look at this now.
You're gonna be
This
all
is-
right.
This is so upsetting.
All right, so
You're booked
I'm
for
going to talk.
months.
So
We're
oh,
booked.
never mind. He's good.
We're booked for a while. Walkabouts.
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 And what do they sound like?
I don't listen to anyone's music before they come on the show.
Really?
I don't. No, I won't do it.
I respect that, but I don't understand.
Okay.
You can explain it to me later. I'm not going to have this conversation with you over a live stream. But I respect that. There's a purity in that, but I definitely would. Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Welcome.
Yeah.
It's nonsense up in here.
So, all right, I'll say this, then we'll go back to your music.
No, it's okay. I'm just fiddling around.
There's a thing that happens in the entertainment industry. There's a lot of gatekeepers, and there's a lot of nonsense and nepotism and pseudo-nepotism, and it makes it extraordinarily difficult for really great musicians or really great artists to be found. So as a result, I don't want to be one of those people. So I want to offer a platform for artists to be discovered and to get their music and their voice into the world.
I love that.
And I don't want to be one of the people who listens to something and goes, this isn't any good. Who the fuck am I to make that decision? I'm not a music man. I'm not in the industry, but I am a person that loves people, and I don't want to be. You ever have like somebody send something to you that's funny, and then you look at it and you're just like in a bad mood and you're like, it's not that funny. Like, I don't want to be that for someone's art that they're pouring their heart and soul into. So if someone's like wants to come on the show, it's an open platform to do that. I want to give them the opportunity to get their music into the world. I don't think I should be the person that's the arbiter as to whether or not it's good or not. Like, that's on.
I respect the
That's on
purity of
artist
that
and the
approach.
audience.
What do you think, Dave?
I think it's beautiful.
I just
think
wanted to throw you into the fire real quick.
I think Reed loves love.
Okay, David, what do you think about that? What are
I-
your thoughts? What do you think about this math problem?
I have a question for you. I'm going to save it till after the next song, though. So
Why don't you ask it now?
That's what I think
Unless
about
y'all
that.
want me to play.
No, play.
Sean,
I
you
wanna
ready to hear a
some more
song?
songs.
Yeah, I want to
man.
hear some more songs.
He's like, dude, I'm not a part of this. I am not. You better shut up and not talk to me. I'm. I'm glad we're having fun.
All right.
That's what matters, no matter what.
Down to the river, whenever you're ready.
I like. Yeah. Okay, so Down to the River. This is going to be the version that's going to be on the same record with Soldier On, the last song that I played. This is not the version that I did for the movie was much more Johnny Cash-esque. This is a little bit more rock and roll.
Devil in the mirror saying, settle down. There's no salvation that can ever be found. The soul of man was born for sin. Relax and let me in. And the river let me go. Let my soul be saved. Calling for a pardon from the shame. Let me go. In the Father's name, please let my debt be paid. Angel in the mirror saying, please don't run from the hurt you've caused and the damage you've done. Forgiveness is there for every man. Relax and face your sins. Down to the river, let me go. Let my soul be saved. Calling for a pardon from the shame. Let me go. In the Father's name, please let my debt be paid. Oh, let me go. Let my soul be saved. Calling for a pardon from the shame. Let me go. In the Father's name, please let my debt be paid. Man in the mirror hangs his head down low and tries to forget the man he's come to know. Redemption is there for every man. Stand up and face your sins. Down to the river, let me go. Let my soul be saved. Calling for a pardon from the shame. Let me go. Father's name, please let my debt be paid. Oh, let me go. Let my soul be saved. Calling for a pardon from the shame. Let me go. In the Father's name, please let my debt be paid.
And that's it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thank y'all.
That's a great song.
Thanks.
That's a great song. That's just
about recording that.
just based off of the music, or just based off the movie. Excuse me, the film inspired.
Oh man, it's such a dark film. Like I said, I watched it once, and I was like, dude, I'm not watching that again.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it called?
It's called Perdition.
Perdition.
Yeah.
But not The Road to, because that's a Tom Hanks film. That's not what you.
No, not that one.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
I wish it was.
That would be pretty cool. Was that Michael Clark Duncan? That was like one of his last films. The guy was so good. He was the larger man that is no longer with us.
Yeah, no, I know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
He was an 8 Mile, right?
Yeah. What was it? What was the
I
It
don't
was
remember.
the prison film. Was that 8 Mile?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great film. Oh, that made me cry.
Wait, 8 Mile? I'm thinking of.
Not 8 Mile with Eminem. Or maybe he was in that, but I'm thinking
was
of
in that.
not what Green Mile. Thank you,
Thank
Emily.
you. Green Mile. Thank you.
The mile that's emotional.
Yeah. Like 8 Mile.
Not
I was
tough
like,
guys.
I don't think he rapped in that once with Eminem. What are you talking
Tom
about?
Hanks was like, "What?"
So
okay, we
that
talked
was-
about that one.
Yep. That was the. So
So I'll throw it to you. I'll throw it to you, Dan.
who?
You know, I'm just joking around.
So Down to the River.
Down to the River.
Film inspired. That's the only thing you've ever scored officially, right? Is that something you would wanna do more, is
Yeah,
score?
yeah. Well, I've done quite a few placements for music licensing,
Okay.
for installations at the Wildflower Center. Last year, I composed and wrote the theme music for Luminations for their whole, like, 4 elements themed thing at the Wildflower Center, and it was orchestral, kind of like orchestral rock,
Okay.
and it was a lot of fun to do.
That sounds fun.
I've done that, and then I've done 2 other things with them. One for Silvana, which was another exhibit, and then the original Luminations exhibit at the Wildflower Center in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you like scoring stuff then?
I absolutely love scoring stuff. If you need your stuff scored, let me know. I know
There you
this
go.
the stuff that I do. You should check out my website.
What is your website? How do
My
people find you
website
in the world?
Is www.ryandesiato.com. And yeah.
We can put that. I did link in the YouTube description to your Instagram as well as your Spotify.
Thank you. I appreciate
But
that
I
very
can,
much.
after the fact, after the show, I can jump in and add that into the description of your website so people can find it.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Yeah. I hear you do some of that stuff too, right?
What's that?
Well, writing music for film or for your own films.
I did. I scored Thank You 5. But that's not what the show's about. The show's about you. So we're gonna pivot away from my stuff and talk about
Sean,
your stuff.
what about you?
Sean's like, I just came here as an audience member. I don't want to be wrangled into this, whatever
we're
this
just
is.
we're just
Dave has a question though.
I do have a question, Sean. Ryan,
Fire away, bro.
Ryan, you're a showman, a showman. You can tell.
A man of show.
A man of show. Where do you play? Where can people see you play live? Put on a performance?
I love the smoke.
Wide
Audience
shot.
is here.
Wide shot on smoke.
So, since I'm such a showman, you can't take yourself too seriously, people. Who is this guy?
Sean, we lost Sean. Sean.
No, it was great.
We broke Sean. We officially broke Sean. He had to leave.
Sean's a regular now.
It's too silly. It's too silly. That was a lot of smoke. I didn't mean for that much smoke to
Oh
happen.
no, I think it was beautiful.
that was too much smoke.
It was almost comic relief. Well,
It's
it
all-
was
yeah.
comic relief. So I play a lot of private events, and I play. I just got done with a run of 9 out of the last 12 days where I played the Wildflower Center, like I mentioned before. I played Neighbors Kitchen and Yard in Bastrop. I played. I can't even remember them all, but I played a lot of shows all around Texas. But you should go to my website, ryandesiato.com, and go to the events page, and you can find out where I'm playing if you want to see me live. Sometimes I play with my band, and sometimes, most of the time, I play solo.
What is your, is the band a different name, or is it also under Ryan
Just
Desiato?
Ryan Desiato Band.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Is the band have a different flavor of music, or is it?
No, it's like if you like what you're hearing and you go listen to my new EP, All Good Things, which is out on Spotify and Amazon Music, YouTube, everything. If you go check that out, you're gonna hear this type of kind of soulful '70s bluesy vibe, and these guys just what they do is they're such good musicians, Alex Hartley and Pedro Corsetti and Lang Freeman, that they just take what I do and they just elevate it, and they just they make it better, as good artists do. They make the other artists around them better, and that's what those gentlemen do. Thank you for the water.
Water, the beverage of life, which is the fifth title track of your song. Beverage of life.
Making me choke. Oh, this next one's gonna come out great.
Sorry. All right. Not called beverage of life.
No, it is the beverage of life. It's profound and silly at the same time.
Yes.
Profoundly silly. Let's see. So
You have a very specific voice too. Have you ever thought about doing voiceover work? Because you have a very voiceover voice.
you know, I did last year. I almost got into doing voiceovers and doing like In a World and
Yeah.
all that stuff. You know, and
Pat
and doing-
LaFontaine. He was the man.
I thought about doing that stuff, and then as I was learning the business, I realized that doing music licensing was they're very similar, and that's what I wanted to do was sync and like. I'll just say this: a lot of the music that I create in my home studio is real orchestral. Some of it's very dark. Some of it's very different than me and a guitar, and it's a lot of fun to, as an artist, express myself in those ways that are outside of the parameters and the confines.
Fines.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Confines of this and this, you know. So
Well, you are very much, you're a very emotive performer. So I feel like you would do other things besides just play. Especially if you see an artist perform, they just you can tell they just do the one thing. You seem very multifaceted in your entertainment value.
that's a
why it's
fantastic transition into the next song selection.
called entertainment value.
Well,
How do you know?
I think
I just know everything.
I think that it is entertainment value. I think that that's correct, but I also think that it's like, as you play with who you are, you start to understand that, like, it's like enjoying good food. You're like, man, that's good, and that's kind of like this. Oh, I really like that too, and then your palate expands, you know. And so, as a music artist, that's what you do, you know. And so what I'm going to do now, which is a phenomenal transition, whether you meant to or not. We planned all of this. We scripted this whole show, all of it. Yeah, it took us a long time.
Took us a long time.
Yeah, just kidding. Is a Spanish instrumental. This is all looped,
Okay.
and there'll be no vocals.
Okay.
I'm not going to touch this because you were right. But this is a song called Serendipity.
Serendipity. Over to you.
This takes me a second to play. Check my tuning.
Can I tell you about something that's rather serendipitous?
You can.
Before we moved here to Austin, I saw a picture of this place, and it was this exact. It was this basically what you're seeing on camera right now. And I was like, that's the place we have to move to, not because of the show, but I was like, I love this place. We have to move there. And then fast forward to now, the show happened.
That's awesome.
Over to you for serendipity.
No, it's good. Tell me all about. How did you see it?
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after the song. What'd you say? Zillow, exactly.
Emily said Zillow, which is great. Okay. All right. So here we go. This takes me just a second to set up, get the groove going. Here we go.
Hey-o.
That's a beautiful song.
Beautiful song, buddy. Beautiful song. Well done. What was the genesis behind that? That all instrumental serendipity.
I've always loved Spanish guitar. I've always loved those modes, and I wanted to write in them. And I think it came about during a time when I wasn't super confident as a singer. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to lean more toward this thing that I love that I can do without singing.
Okay.
And so it came out of that.
It's wonderful, man.
Carlos Santana.
I was gonna say Andre Segovia. I was gonna go with
Probably
deep
better.
cut,
Yeah.
deep track. The
Well, I
wonderful.
appreciate the compliment. So, shall we move back to... I'd like to play a song called Blood Trail. Oh, you can let the dogs out if you
We
want.
heard there was a squeak. I don't know if you guys heard a squeak. That was one of my dogs, Tim or Carl, was squeaking. But that's not the title of this next song, which is called Blood Trail, not Squeak.
This is called Blood Trail.
Blood Trail.
And this song is on All Good Things.
All good things. But when you don't have to say it like you don't like Blood Trail. It's just, you don't have to do that.
I think my voice just makes those sounds.
Okay. I think I just doubled down on that for a second there.
I'm like, yes, I would like to buy 3 bags at the grocery store. And they're like, sir, you're scaring me.
You're scaring us. I always wanted to hear Jigsaw order a coffee. You know what I mean? From the Saw movies, if that's the same.
I love the levity.
Imagine the Paul Rudd scene where he's arguing with the barista about the Venti or Trenta, but Jigsaw voice. How much better does that scene get? Oh, man.
Internet, you have a job to do, and it's to produce that video.
I bet it's out there.
Someone can take that and clip it together.
I bet it's out there.
I love it. I would actually love to hear that. I would do
Blood Trail.
Is there anything we should know about Blood Trail before Blood Trail?
Blood Trail is a song about getting lost in substances and addictions
Okay.
and finding your way out of them.
Okay. Over to you for Blood Trail whenever you're ready.
Blood Trail. All right.
I loan my soul to a substance that won't give it back. Train my sights on tomorrow, I've been nailed to the past. Forgave my forgiveness, but I knew it wouldn't last. So I'm following my blood trail back. Oh, I'm following my blood trail, leads me to the past. My blood trail, there ain't no going back. My blood trail leads me back to me. For the shadow of the man I used to be. I've tasted manna from the heavens, I put my brother in the earth. I wiped the tears from his mother, spoke to God with a curse. I forgave my forgiveness, but I knew it wouldn't last. So So I'm following my blood trail back. Oh, I'm following my blood trail that leads me to the past. My blood trail, ain't no going back. My blood trail leads me back to me. Oh, the shadow of the man I used to be. I'm gonna lay down the anger at the tombstone of my past. Gonna sift through the ashes for anything that lasts. I'm forgiving my forgiveness and I'm never looking back. To the shadow of a shadowy past. Oh, I'm following my blood trail that leads me to the past. My blood trail, there ain't no going back. My blood trail leads me back to me. With the shadow of the man I used to be. Oh, I'm following my blood trail, leads me to the past. My blood trail, there ain't no going back. My blood trail leads me back to me. The shadow of the man I used to be. The shadow of the man I used to be. The shadow of the man I used to be.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well done, sir.
Gentlemen?
Well done. So that was about substance abuse and addiction, huh? Is
It was also about me coping with the death of a very close friend when I was very young and trying to process all of that.
okay? Can I ask how old you were?
If I was 22.
Okay, so okay.
I was real young. If I told you the details
No,
about
no, we don't
this,
need to know the
Oh,
details.
it would be so...
Don't need details, but I did want to. I wasn't sure when you talked about substance and addiction if that was something that you also had struggled with.
Yeah, I definitely struggled with that through a large portion of my life.
Is that something you want to expand on? I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable,
no,
but
not at all, not at all. I think it's really good to talk about these things.
Yep.
So, for me, it was God. It was me coming to a place of humility with God about the trauma that I had, because I had a lot of trauma based upon that, and the trauma was leading to the addictions. And I think a lot of people are super traumatized from various things that they go through, whether it's in their family or things that happen to them externally, and then they want to numb the pain. And so for me, it was humility and saying, I can't deal with this alone. I need your help, God. And that gave me strength to break it down into little pieces, discipline myself, and come to a place of just humbled submission, and to work that in, because in humility, we have the strength and power to look at our traumas and work on them. And so that's my story around that. I mean, but at the same time, in that song, I'm talking about, like, the second verse says, I've tasted manna from the heavens, I've put my brother in the earth, right? Like, I've received gifts and blessings, and I buried someone that I love, right? I wiped the tears from his mother. I spoke to God with a curse. So it was a lot of anger towards God at that time, right? I forgave my forgiveness, but I knew it wouldn't last, so I'm following my blood trail back. And the blood trail is the trauma, right? It's like walking, like a blood trail is what you do when you're hunting, right? A lot of people maybe don't know that, but it's what you do. You're looking for the wounded thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what that song is lyrically.
That's beautiful, man. Thank you for sharing that. I know sometimes, especially the more difficult things that happen to us are always the most difficult to share. And I find that it actually does help to talk through some of those horrible things. Leads us to a wonderful place.
And I think it's always a little scary to go there, but at the same time, I think that it's fruitful because there's a vulnerable authenticity in those moments that is crucial, for lack of a better word.
Well, I think a lot of people, especially when they're going through something difficult, that's like, oh, no one's ever dealt with this before. This is the only, it's like when you start to feel terrible about something, you start to get even more isolated, and then those things like kind of compound. It's like that snowball effect, and then you start to feel like you're the only person that's ever dealt with this. And
100%.
the reason I talk about some of the tragedy that I've experienced in my life very openly is because you're not alone. I mean, like, it sucks for everybody that goes through anything tragic, and I feel like if you open up to it, yeah, you might get a shithead occasionally that would take like a shot at you for it, but fuck that guy, and why would you even care about what he says?
It doesn't matter.
Find
the point is to be authentic.
Right, but find the people who ultimately like realize that you might need something in life and care for you. I think there's a lot more of us than there are of the people that will take a sarcastic shot, because chances are they're dealing with their own shit that they haven't unpacked.
Exactly, and you don't know if that moment of truth might rattle something loose to where they're like, yeah, I'm pushing that away and I'm being ugly to that because it's something in me that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
And I think that that's cathartic and good.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Dave?
Isn't it funny how when you're dealing with something and you just want to talk about it, and oftentimes it's just the act of saying it out loud and hearing yourself kind of rationalize or deal with the trauma or the pain or the hurt is enough to get you on that path to dealing with it.
Yeah.
It's one of those ideas. I love the conversation you guys are having about the importance of having folks around you that are supportive, but it's also the bravery of just being able to open up and articulate what's wrong, and you hear yourself say it, and then that gives you a little bit of power over the situation.
100%.
All of a sudden, I don't know what this podcast is, but I love what it is.
Yeah, it's good. Well, if nothing else, it's honest.
Hey, you know what? If honesty gets you in trouble, what the hell else do you have in life? Which brings us to the 7th song of the evening, Honesty. I'm going to do this one time where I'm going to say which brings us to, and I'm going to guess the track, and it hasn't happened
I
yet.
think
but
you're close.
I'm working on it. I'm going to get there one of these days.
What's the guess?
Honesty, is that the title track for number 7, or the title for number 7?
Yes, but it's not.
It's not called Honesty?
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you.
You be honest.
I haven't even decided which song I'm going to play next.
Oh no. I can't hit a moving
don't
target.
be afraid.
I can't
It's
hit a
okay.
moving target.
While you're thinking about that, I have a question
actually-
for you that's
go
going to
ahead.
make it harder to think about that. If you could play with anybody,
Yeah?
alive or dead, inspiration, not inspiration, who would it be? Who would
Play
you play
music with 'em?
Play music with.
I'm glad you clarified that. If you were like Fetch, that would have been a very different.
I think I would
'Cause
like
immediately
to...
I'm like, Lassie. Who
I
else
think
would
I
you
would like to be the baritone under Chris Stapleton.
I saw Stapleton last weekend.
Okay.
He was awesome. I think he'd be a great baritone.
I think that like harmonizing with him would be a dream. He's one of my favorite singers.
yeah.
A portal would open to a new world. That's how amazing that harmonizing would be.
And see, he's one of those
It would
folks.
be.
I think that when it comes to music, speaking of authenticity and catharsis and all the things we're talking about, that man writes really vulnerable stuff. And that's the thing that we overlook so much because we just hear it and we go, yeah, of course I feel that. But man, it is a scary thing to pin those things, pin those thoughts, to be like, yeah, I wiped the tears literally from my dead friend's mom's face.
Mm.
Like, that's a real thing that happened that I'm putting in that song, right? And I think a lot of the music that Stapleton does is the same. I don't think he's just making that stuff up. 'Cause he's a, seems to me, I don't know him, never met him, seems to me like a genuine human being. So, all right, so we're gonna play some blues next. This is a song called Deepest Shade of Blue.
Deepest shade of blue.
Deepest shade of blue.
The deepest.
It's the deepest, dude.
It's not the deeper shade.
No, it's the one that it surpasses all other shades of blue.
It's not chartreuse. It's
Chartreuse? I feel like that's like, isn't that pink or
isn't
something?
can I tell you? I actually don't know what color that is. It was in my brain, and I'm an idiot. Deepest shade of blue.
I gotta sing out a song tonight, and that's painful but true. I gotta sing out a song tonight, and that's painful but true. Yes, and friends, here's your picture in the deepest shade of blue. Well, I've been leaning on a bottle, you've been drunk to kill the pain. I've been leaning on a bottle, you've been drunk to kill the pain. And I know it's bound to get me, Lord, if something doesn't change. so tender and so true. Oh, and I used to have a long one that forced me to choose. She said, honey, me on this bottle, so I'm drinking to the blues. I gotta sing out a song tonight, one that's painful but true. I gotta sing out a song tonight, one that's painful but true. Yes, and friends, here's your picture, the deepest shade of blue.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
That's a new old song of mine. I wrote that when I was 21. I wrote the words to that, and then in the last year, I rewrote the music in the style that I play now. So, yeah, man, that's Deepest Shade of Blue. That'll be on the same album with Soldier On, and
All Good Things Help?
no,
that's the next one.
It'll be
That's
on the next one.
Next
Yes.
one. Do you have a name for the next album yet?
I don't.
You don't have
What
a
should
name.
we name it?
Ooh, Carl and
Deepest Shade of
Tim.
Blue.
Oh shit! I ain't gonna do that. Just trying to throw an album title to my dogs.
Man, I'm having fun. Thank you for
Deepest
having
Shade of
me on.
Blue. Deepest Shade of Blue is a way better album name than Carl and Tim. Just for the record,
Carl
I
and
just
Tim.
I think you're onto something. Pardon my.
That was great, man.
I'm glad you guys liked it. Thank you very much. I like how as soon as I started, I realized the guitar was out of tune. Yep.
This is why you want a co-host that doesn't know anything about music, because I couldn't tell. I had a great time.
Good. That's all that matters.
I also had a great time,
And you know about music.
and I know very little about music. I'm not.
You
really
know
a music
enough.
guy. I know enough that I was a great song. That's the important part. How do you keep a guitar in tune when you're slapping it all night long? It's hard, right? How do you?
You just have to retune it, brother. You just have to keep retuning
You just
it.
gotta get in there.
So you had a a set list of 20 songs to pick. How are you picking the next song? Like, what's going on?
I
in the
work off
rhyme?
of the conversation that we're having. When I'm playing live, I will come with like 30 songs,
Okay.
and I will wait till I feel the room, and then I'll respond to that. Like, I didn't know which song I was going to start with tonight. I
Okay.
had no idea until I came in.
Are you trying to match the energy or change the energy?
Great
That's
question.
That's a great question.
Great question.
I'm trying to complement the energy and uplift the energy of the people that are there. And sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm dead on with my song selections or choices. You know, it's really, it's hit or miss, you know. I mean,
Do you have a favorite place you've played?
so I did a residency at Austin Eastsiders, you
Oh, yeah.
know, off of
Yeah.
Riverside? Not Riverside. Up there.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Springdale Road.
Yep.
So I did a residency
I said yes,
there
like I know. I don't.
last year.
Springdale sounds right.
I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Don't know. I have no idea.
We're transplants. We haven't been here long.
He's not, right?
I've been here for less time than him.
We Eastsiders just moved to that location not very long ago, as far as I know. Anyway, neither here nor there.
So you played there.
Yeah.
That's your favorite spot?
It's been my favorite spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it about that makes it your favorite spot? Is
The
it
room
like
just sounds good.
okay?
The room sounds good. It's got this nice kind of cavernous.
Golden room tone.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, it's very washy with lots of reverb.
Is it as good as this place? Let me ask you.
I mean, no.
You ever heard anyone fish for a compliment?
This
That's what it
place
sounded like.
is amazing.
It was amazing.
This is how I got on the show. It
That's
was a
that.
lot of this.
I just-
This guy is so much.
He's just like, the backdrop is amazing. What is the 8th song of the evening that you're bringing for us?
Good question.
Good question.
See,
Great
I haven't
question.
started.
Let's complement the energy.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Because I have to, I'm not gonna lie. The camera battery on this is gonna crash out, so I need to go grab that. So you're gonna start the next song. I'm gonna go to camera 1. I'm gonna stay on that camera until I swap that battery. Then I'm gonna go to camera 2.
Okay.
I'm calling my
Ready to
plays.
Take a break.
If
No,
he's not ready,
you're good.
All right.
We can riff.
Unless you're not ready. Do you need us to riff?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Let me just check the tuning one more time.
Check and tuning. Check and tuning. What is your favorite place to play at here in Austin? Dude?
Yeah. What about you, Dave?
Oh man, I like to play at Armadillo Den because I don't play music and I get to watch music
There you go.
and I get to drink.
I'm a big fan of Sahara
Sahara's
Lounge.
Fantastic.
That's a great
Good
great
vibe.
spot.
Really good vibe.
Love that spot.
Yep.
It's a great spot.
I'll have to check
Yep.
them out.
You never been to Sahara?
I've never been.
Oh, it's such a good.
You know what's a big miss for me? The Little Darlin', fantastic food, great vibe, great bar, venue, everything's good. I never see bands there. They have a stage and there's never music
The
playing
Little
at
Darlin'?
the Little Darlin'.
Okay.
Huh.
Maybe
Big miss.
Maybe we could get one Ryan DeSiato
I would love to come play.
at Little Darling.
Yep.
The Little Dog.
Did you
Love
see
that idea. Is
I
that
just killed the mosquito.
that's not Harold? Who's that?
No, that's Herman. That's Harold. No, I got it backwards. That's Harold. This is Harold. That's Herman.
Yep.
Okay, so the next tune I'm going to play is a song that I released. I did my own version of this old gospel song called Ain't No Grave.
Okay.
And a lot of artists have covered this song,
Ain't no grave.
Ain't No Grave. And I did it kind of in the style of Blood Trail. Anyway, I'll just play it for you. You can. Well, there ain't no grave that can hold my body down. There ain't no grave that can hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise right out of the ground. Ain't no grave that can hold my body down. Well, look way down the river. What do you think I see? Why, I see a band of angels coming after me. There ain't no grave that can hold my body down. There ain't no grave that can hold my body down. Oh, when I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise right out of the ground. Ain't no grave that can hold my body down.
Down yonder, Gabriel, put your feet on the land and see. Gabriel, don't you blow that trumpet till you hear from me. 'Cause there ain't no grave that can hold my body down. There ain't no grave that can hold my body down. Oh, when I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise right out of the ground. There ain't no grave that can hold my body down. There ain't no grave that can hold my body down. There ain't no grave that can hold my body down. Oh.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
Another
I-
great song.
Thanks. I took those words from an old Baptist gospel song and then kind of put my own kind of funky twist on it. Yeah, and that's out there. I released that as a single in 2022, so that's out there if you like what you're hearing.
Ain't no grave.
Ain't no grave.
That was great, man. You took that from an old gospel tune?
Yes.
Where'd you hear that?
Well, I heard Johnny Cash do it initially. Heard Johnny Cash do his version, which is very different than that, right? And I was just like, I was like, man, what if you put like a pocket in that, you know? And so I changed some of the words and made my own arrangement because it's a public domain song. It's so old. It's just a very old song, right? It was written by a guy named Claude Ely, and so a lot of people have covered it. A lot of people have done great covers of it, and so I just did my own copyright of it and just released it.
It's awesome.
Was there a reason that you wanted to do that song in particular? Or was it just that it was public
Like
domain?
The defiant nature of the
Okay.
words and just the spiritual courage of this song.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Spiritual courage. I dig that.
Yeah.
Sometimes public domain's a real thing. A lot of people don't know this, but songs are, after a certain age,
Yeah.
after they were
They become
written,
available.
they become available, and there's no longer copyrighted or copy protected. And so people can cover them.
It's like 75 years.
Is it I thought it was 100. Is it 75?
think
It's a long time.
It might have changed, but the last time I looked, it was 75.
Well, then there gets into this whole other thing with copyright, because we did this with the film, which is if you find something that's public domain and you want to use it, there's the person that wrote it for the new recording, and then there's the recording artist as well. So it's like not just the person that, so like you would be the singer,
Right.
but then the person that were recording it, it would
The
be like,
difference between mechanical license and all
oh
that.
my
Yeah,
God,
no,
it's,
I know it's a little complicated.
licensing game is so complicated.
It is. That's why whenever I got into it, I was like, I'm going to be a one-stop shop. You know what I mean? I'm going to, any of the stuff that I do, I'm going to engineer and produce it and all of that and contract people, but like keep it all like under one roof.
Hell
Because
yeah.
it's so much easier for anybody who's interested in licensing the material.
Let me ask you this, man.
Yeah.
We have 2 more songs. We're at number 9. We're
Okay.
about to get to number 10. This is an important question. If you could be any slice of pizza, what slice of pizza would you be?
I'd be
There-
I'd be margarita pizza.
Margarita pizza. That's hard to beat.
Simple but delicious.
I think that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Like, just
There's no right answer, but that's just what comes to mind.
I feel
don't
like
know.
there is a right answer.
Yeah,
and I
Ryan,
think
this is the
yeah.
first time I'm gonna disagree with you. There is a right answer, and it's margarita.
You think so?
I like sausage and pepperonis on my pizza, but when you think of a pizza, margarita is the correct.
Well, I
pizza.
think everybody likes it. Well, not that that should be the reason why, but I love that pizza. It's simple. It's good. If it's made well, it nails it.
Yeah.
Simplicity is so.
Have
Reed,
you-
what about you?
Have you had pepperoni and black olive pizza.
So
This came up during a show, and
I
the
mean,
artist,
that sounds good too. I
the
like
artist that
so
brought it
many
up,
things.
I love. They're so talented. But I gotta be honest with you, I was a little, when they said it, I was like, that doesn't make sense. This is breaking the logic chain.
yeah, I have a problem with black olives on pizza. I
yeah.
like black olives,
And
they take over the pizza.
Everything they did made sense and was amazing, except that one thing. And I've like struggled. I'm like trying to figure out where I can get pepperoni and black olive pizza because I haven't had it. So it's very possible I'm wrong because I'm wrong about a lot of things. So
We all are.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's my mission to find is black olive and pepperoni pizza.
I'm going to Toss Pizza tomorrow.
Toss?
Yeah, Toss on South First. Yeah.
Is it like TOAS? Like, is it clever or
No,
like
it's not
just-
clever, but it's great. TOSS.
Okay.
I'm not going for the pizza. I'm going for the wings. Pizza's fantastic.
Okay.
Go to Toss for the pizza.
Well,
I'm going
cool.
for the wings and to watch football.
All right, fair enough. What's
Yeah.
your team?
I'm a Bears fan.
All right, the show's over. That's
Yeah.
it. I'm out. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Slowly take my headphones off. I'm so sorry. Are you really a Bears fan?
I am a Bears fan.
I thought I just thought you were fine with
Look,
me.
Caleb is the best first-round draft pick we've had in a long time.
I didn't know you were a Bears fan.
But
I
we
really
are
thought-
here for Ryan, not for the Bears.
Exactly.
So
This is good. It gives me a little break.
Okay.
little breathing room.
You wanna breathe?
Yeah.
That's good. We
If
can
I
do that.
could offer some feedback to the Bears organization, it would be draft an offensive line, build an offensive line around your first-round draft pick quarterback.
So he doesn't get mangled in the pocket. Is what
Yeah,
you're
so he
saying.
doesn't go to the
Emergen-
Steelers and become a
emergency
good
room.
quarterback like
Agreed.
Fields all of a sudden. So
I have a question. Is
you
this your first time doing this?
the co-hosting
like
or
co-hosting.
attending?
Co-hosting.
Co-hosting, yes.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Ryan. You're
Dave-
doing a great job.
Dave's amazing.
as well.
I think you should have him on more.
Well, I mean, that can be arranged. He's so close.
I don't live far from either of you.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oddly,
We're all
again
neighbors.
serendipity. Great early 2000s movie with Kate Beckinsale.
Great song. Oh, yeah, and John Cusack. There we go. Who knew you had some Kate Beckinsale film knowledge in you? Have you seen that movie? It's a great movie.
I think I
Serendipity.
know every
But-
Kate Beckinsale movie.
I think Kate Beckinsale is a lovely-looking human being.
She's pretty.
I don't know anything about her.
Nothing.
She might be nice. She could be a monster. I have
She's-
no idea.
I think she's.
I said
nice.
looking. I
She
don't know
seems-
anything about her.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see what
Right.
you're saying. Understood. What was the vampire wolf thing?
Anyway,
What?
What was the wolf?
Underworld.
Underworld, thank you.
Yes.
Again, encyclopedic knowledge of every Kate Beckinsale movie. Because she's a nice lady.
She probably is. I mean,
I hope she is. I would hate.
She should be. The world needs more Kate Beckinsale.
Well, it's like a
the
thing.
world
when
needs
you,
more Ryan.
you guys are
songs.
very, very kind. And thank you again for having me on
Absolutely.
this show.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed it.
I love it. You're so talented, and you're fun, and you're nice, and you smile a lot, and you clearly enjoy
I do.
what you do.
I don't look into the camera enough. I keep
No, it's okay.
feeling this inner voice being like, pay
Don't-
attention. Like, and I'm like, you know what?
It can be. It can be weird if you just stare into the camera the whole time. It's like strange. It's like very serial killer. Yeah, don't do
big
that.
saucer eyeballs.
Don't do that. We shouldn't see the sclera of your eyes. If we see the sclera, then it's something's off. That's not right. You shouldn't do that to anyone in any conversation. But song number 9, Kate Beckinsale. That's
How about we end with this one?
I really was hoping.
How do you
Yes.
feel about that?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Done.
So the reason why is because this is kind of a long song.
Okay.
It's a long, short song.
It's a twofer.
It's a lot of fur. Okay, and I hope I remember all these words. So since we did Ain't No Grave, we brought up Johnny Cash,
Yep.
who's one of my favorites.
One
I
of
want
those.
to finish with a song that I love called Boy Named Sue.
Oh.
And I've played my stuff all night. This is a song that I love. And this is Boy Named Sue. Thank you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. No, I don't blame him because he run and hid.
meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. It seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean, and my fists got hard and my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that give me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table dealing stud, sat the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother'd had, and I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I whispered, "My name is Sue. You're gonna die." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, but to my surprise, he come up with a knife and he cut off a piece of my ear. Then I busted a chair right across his cheek, and we crashed through the walls and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Now I tell you, I've fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun, but I got to mine first, and he stood there looking at me, and I saw him smile. And he said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough." And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong. Said, now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue. I got all choked up and I threw down my gun, and I called him my paw and he called me his son, and I come away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I certainly won't name him Sue. And that's Boy Named Sue. It's one of my favorite covers to do.
Thank you, buddy.
A little piece of trivia. So, you probably think Johnny Cash wrote that song, right?
I don't know who wrote it. Did he write it?
I'll give you a
Judging by the intro.
I'll give you a hint.
No. Yes.
The Giving Tree.
Shel Silverstein?
Uh-huh.
Get the fuck out. Shel Silverstein wrote that?
Uh-huh. Think about it. It's got this great narrative arc.
Dude, that just blew my brains out.
Anyway.
Did you guys practice that before the show? Did you know you knew the answer? And
Shel Silverstein?
Well, I
wrote
said
The
the Giving.
Tree.
I gave him a hint.
The Giving Tree. The Shel Silverstein book.
I read books.
I'm going to read books. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on, guys.
That is the best ending we probably could have had. Before we're out of here, tell me where they can find you. RyanDeSiato.com, Instagram, Spotify, all the things. Over to you, and then I'm going to hit this bumper and get out of here.
So thank you for listening. And you can find me at RyanDeSiato.com or anything online, YouTube at Ryan DeSiato Music, Instagram, Ryan DeSiato Music, Facebook, Ryan DeSiato Music. And I look forward to connecting with you guys. Thanks for listening.
Awesome.
Good night.
Thank you so much for checking us out. Be sure to check us out for another episode of Local Sets ATX. We will see you on the internet. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Dave. You're a rock star,
Bye.
buddy.
Nice work, Ryan.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I love your music, buddy. This is great. Thank you for doing this.
I thought it was something fun.
Yeah, it was a very fun song.
It was a fun